Outlanders!
Hey Outlanders!
Can you please let us know if you can hear us and see us okay?
Waiting for the confirmation. Are we Gucci or not?
The suspense.
The suspense is killing me.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi DJ,
Okay.
hi to the nines.
That sounds promising, but yeah, if there hasn't been any messages yet about it, yeah.
All good, yeah, nifty nitsy. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Amazing, thank you.
Okay, so...
Welcome.
Yeah, hi. I was about to say what we were going to be doing today, and I was like, actually, we should probably introduce ourselves first.
Yes.
So, hello. So I'm Rhi. I'm the marketing specialist on Vigor, and I'm joined by Tony.
Hi guys, Tony, brand manager for Vigor. Excited to be here. For those who don't know me, taking care of marketing stuff for Vigor.
And we're also joined by Dom, who is moderating our chats off camera. But she's...
Hello. Did we get that in the shot? Yeah,
did.
Okay. A little hand there.
But in terms of how the stream is going to go today, it's just us two, just me and Tony.
Today we're just going to take the time to answer your guys' questions. We're going to have a little Q&A session. You guys can throw your questions at us. We'll try to answer what we can. We'll try to give you some hints towards the future and what the future holds. Some cool stuff happening, and maybe a teaser for the next season. We'll see.
Maybe.
You'll have to stick around.
But before we kind of go into some of the questions that we can already see in the chat, thank you to those of you who have already started to ask about those. Usually during our dev streams, we kind of cover some of the, if it's a dev diary stream, upcoming features and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And since this is the first dev stream after the release of Vigor Meltdown, we wanted to kind of cover some of the kind of main features that have come out of the season launch.
Yeah.
And to kind of go through those, because we have been asking on our socials for your views on those features. So if I go on to the next slide. So yeah, if you follow us on our socials, you'll have noticed that we had some question times about the action figures, the new wardrobe presets, and also the cosmetic crate that came about this season.
Mm-hmm.
With the action figures, those were very popular. It was such a nice day responding to everybody on socials for that one. They seemed to be a hit.
I think everybody was happy that you guys enjoyed this new additional memento in the Outlands. I know it's been something that was asked for a long time. So this is the first iteration of these mementos. There's going to be more coming with future seasons, so you guys can expand the collection. So stay tuned for the next batch, which should be coming out with the next season. Mm-hmm. And for all of you who are, the memento enthusiasts who like to have your collection complete, this is something new and exciting that's been added to the game to give it a little bit more of a different flair, let's say. I also love the fact that each of the action figures has its own sound cue when you're nearby. That's a nice little, I would say Easter egg, but also not quite an Easter egg. It's just something added flavor to the feature.
Yeah. We did see that some people were saying that they're a bit difficult to listen out for. So that's feedback that we are kind of passing on to our dev team as well. And I've seen some comments about the music for the action figure,
yeah, that it's
showcase being quite loud.
A bit too loud. Yeah. Our team is aware of that, and they're looking at it. I'm not going to make any promises if it's going to be fixed for next season or not, but I think it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And also there was the wardrobe presets. Overall, it was generally it was positive. I think the main feedback that we saw across our socials was that you wanted to have to have cosmetics in like multiple presets, because at the moment it's not possible.
That should be fixed with next season. So from next season, you will be able to choose the same cosmetic in different presets. So thank you for your guys' feedback. That should be fixed next season.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, it was. I think this is like the positive kind of thing about these question times, because we can kind of see how everyone's kind of feeling about these new features, but also like we can see like specific feedback that then we can kind of pass on and like.
Yeah, like this is mainly the reason why we do this. Obviously, you guys, if some of you don't know, the way this works is that sometimes when we test a feature, because we test on a different environment than production or retail, some things might not appear there that will appear afterwards, or vice versa. So it's also a good opportunity for us to gauge with you guys, the players, how you feel about a certain feature. It gives us ammo to work on improving said feature, or tweaking or adjusting or whatever. Because obviously, nobody's a mind reader. Nobody can precisely know how it will be received, which is why this like give and take relationship should exist, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. And the most recent question time we had was about the cosmetic crates.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's an added way of getting cosmetics. Obviously, yeah, the way you obtain it is a little bit more exclusive now that you can obtain it through the donation hub by getting the top tier for the rewards. But it's at least a step in towards a direction where people have the opportunity to obtain cosmetics easier.
Yeah. A lot of the feedback that we saw from that question time was that a lot of players are getting mostly kind of weapon skins. But it depends on the cosmetics that kind of are already.
Well, the thing is like the pool of cosmetics is so huge, right? So weapon skins make up the bigger majority of all the cosmetics that exist in the game. So chances are, if you open up a cosmetic crate, you would probably get a weapon skin. That also depends on what kind of cosmetics you already own or not. So there's different factors that go into it. So it is possible that a weapon skin will be the most common thing that you will obtain, because weapon skins are the bigger majority. But we've seen people who received like a baseball cap or a helmet or just like another piece of cosmetic which is not a weapon skin. So that can happen. It just means like you need to open more cosmetic crates, basically.
But it's been really nice to kind of see everyone's opinions on these new features, and it's really helpful to have like the kind of concentrated feedback. Yeah, we appreciate it. So thank you to everyone who left comments on those posts. Thank you. Yeah. I think we can probably also, I'm gonna just go over here so I can scroll up into the Twitch chat.
Check the chat, yeah, for some questions. I already saw a couple of questions about obviously the big elephant in the room, I guess, right now would be matchmaking times or ping or stuff like that. Now, to clear things up, the way we've implemented matchmaking right now, it is supposed to take a few things into consideration. It's supposed to prioritize your location, your ping radius, and then try to matchmake you with people of similar ping, of a similar area, and group them together to the best possible grouping that it can be. Obviously, sometimes there can be a few outliers, which means people might be experiencing a worse quality match, let's say, with higher ping or with players from a different region, it does happen. Like, you guys got to understand, such a system is like very, very intricate. It's not simple as just like a press of a button to group people together the best way possible. But overall, we have to say, like, from our side, when we check the data, we are exploring like better quality matches on average for most people. Sometimes it might happen that you will have a bit of a worse quality match, but that does not mean that the system that we have in place is broken or is not working. It's a matter of having a few exceptions to these rules, which happens. So yeah, just wanted to clear it out for everybody. We've also made a Vigor Explain video about matchmaking and how it works. So if any of you guys still have any questions on that, I would advise to go check out that video. I think it can be quite insightful because we try to make it or explain the system as simple as possible without giving away too much detail or too much information. So yeah, go check out the video.
But matchmaking is something that, like, as you mentioned, like, we're monitoring, and it's something that the team is like, we're discussing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When we have our team meetings each week, we look into the matchmaking, and we kind of show as well, like comments on our socials, like, about the matchmaking. So yeah,
it's something that we're constantly looking at, finding ways to improve on the current system. Obviously, nothing is perfect. There's always room for improvement, and we're like always trying to make it a little bit better.
And were you going to say something, sorry? Or...
If you could scroll down the chat to see if we have anything new.
I've seen a few comments about like hit registration. So
hit registration, like, this is again another like thing that it's hard to track, it's hard to replicate, which means it's harder to fix. Our team is looking into it with reports about hit registration issues and everything. We always pass them down to the team, and they're investigating them. They're trying to find the reason that causes it. Sometimes it's not as simple. Sometimes it lies behind something else. It's complex, you know, like, because it's stuff on top of another. So you got to go dig deep to find the reason why. Yeah.
Usually with, like, when we get reports about poor hit registration, if people have provided a clip or have kind of like offered to, or we ask for one, it's usually dependent on like if like the clip has the network stats switched on, because that can help us like look into lag, and also like the location of where you're playing from and the time of day as well, so that we can kind of look into our logs as well.
Yeah.
So would you like to play some games whilst we...
Yeah, let's do that.
Some questions?
Let's do that. Let's boost some lobbies and get killed, because I don't see this playing out differently than this. I think people who have seen me play before know that I suck, so it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Although I think I've had a couple of lucky shots here and there throughout different streams.
Would you like to go for the map spotlight, as I think it should be active, or we can do that later if you want to.
Or I mean, let's do iKevin now, and then we can do map spotlight.
Sounds good. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of map spotlight, we got the new map spotlight out today.
Yep. Actually, I have a slide for that.
Yay!
Yes. So we have the map spotlight each Wednesday that lasts for 24 hours. So the one at the moment is Battery Snowdecked. So that's on until 9 a.m. UTC tomorrow. And then next week it will be Miren from the 28th to the 29th, also from 9 a.m. UTC until 9 a.m. UTC the next day. And then we'll be releasing the voting for the next map spotlight as
For
well. Next
June,
month.
yeah.
Yes, yeah. So keep an eye out for that. We'll be sharing that on our socials, and we'll also have like in-game news for it as well.
By the way, how do you guys like the map spotlights? Like,
Yes,
do you guys
yeah.
enjoy like seeing as like this is live stream? Might as well get some reactions. Do you guys like the idea of having a map spotlight every month, every week? You guys get to choose which one will go. So throw your ideas in the comments, and we'll be sure to pass them down to the team.
Boost, boost, boost.
Boost.
So I can see a comment in the Twitch chat about sprint reload and jump shots. So we don't have plans to bring back the sprint reload.
For that, no. Jump shots, they do exist. They've been tweaked.
With the weapon overhaul, yeah.
It was part of the whole weapon overhaul thing that we rolled out a couple of seasons ago. And to be honest, since we rolled it out, I haven't seen many players saying that they were unhappy about it.
Yeah. About the jump shot.
Yeah, like I heard more opinions on tweaking it before the weapon overhaul than after.
Yeah. We used to get a lot of calls for removing jump shotting. I remember.
I mean, yeah, like we used to get more comments about tweaking jump shotting before the weapon overhaul than afterwards.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't have plans to bring back the sprint reload or the jump shots. No.
Jump shots do exist.
They do,
Like,
just not in the same way that
whee!
we did before.
There we go.
A demonstration. At the cost of your health.
Well,
to prove a point.
You gotta prove a point, right? There we go. There we go.
Wonderful. Have a look as well through. Look through the chat.
I think you can scroll a little bit more down. We'll find something.
Yeah.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me natural answer. Ooh.
Maybe.
Okay, I see a question there. Something about new badges. So,
Okay, yeah.
So, we are working on new badges. I can't say when they'll go out, but we are currently brainstorming ideas for new badges in the game. And when I mean badges, I mean badges. I don't mean achievements or trophies for the platform, but badges in game, right? So we're currently brainstorming some stuff, but we are working on it, just so you know.
And I can see a comment about bringing back plans in cases.
There are plans in cases. They're just very RNG based. So, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm not gonna shoot you, man. Whoever you are, I'm gonna leave you alone.
He skedaddled.
No. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna leave him alone. I saw that he's unarmed, so I'm gonna leave him alone.
Aren't you good?
I am so good.
He's gonna come back when he finds.
He's gonna haunt my ass. He's just like, that's what you get for being nice in the Outlands.
Can't trust everyone.
No, DTA. Don't trust anyone. But yeah,
the plans in.
Plans are in special issue crates. Like there, you have a chance of getting a plan, and then there's also plans in the donation hub crate. It's a guaranteed plan. Like not guaranteed plan, but like you have a very high chance of getting a plan through the donation crate. That depends on the amount of plans that you currently have or not. So it could be either a white plan, or it could be a special issue plan. It could be a military grade plan. Depends. But the chances are significantly higher through that.
And like many other things in the game, things like this, like, we continuously kind of work on.
Yeah.
And yeah, we kind of work with feedback in the sense that at some point further down the line, maybe there kind of like will be some changes made to like
we're evaluating the situation, right?
Yeah.
We got the team, we got data, we'll evaluate the data and make decisions based on said data. So yeah. What else do we have? Any other question? I shouldn't take my eye off the screen for too long, because
there's one featured map for a week versus a day. So I suppose it's to do with the map spotlight, like
for a week. I mean, I get the sentiment, but then you run into the issue of, okay, just because you like this map for a week doesn't mean that everybody else likes that map for a week.
Yeah.
So it's all about balance. We could run into a situation where a certain map would discourage a lot of people from playing because they don't necessarily like it or enjoy it as much. So I think having the map for a day, at least for 24 hours, is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
But we could see maybe like 48 hours, we could do something like on a very, very special occasion or something. We'll see. But a week, it seems a bit of an overkill. But, you know, never say never.
I've seen some comments on socials about having the map spotlight potentially on a different day, like a weekend. And it's something that we could look into.
That's like doable.
Yeah.
We could do that if enough of you guys would like to have something like this. It's doable. Like, we could do that.
Can we get a new gun? For example, MP40.
New gun, MP40. Okay, like for now, we don't have a plan of introducing a new gun, because I think we have enough guns as it is. But we can definitely take that suggestion to the team and throw it into consideration, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone's asked, what do we do if we are getting error codes? Missing cosmetics. I think it would depend on what the error codes are.
What kind of what kind of error code are you getting?
Yeah,
that'd be good to specify, so like we can know how to approach it.
Yeah, definitely. Things like that as well. Those are things that can also be sent through the feedback tracker. Like,
definitely.
With information about the particular error code.
Definitely.
There's a question about the wait times. Even with crossplay on, waiting time is 6 to 10 minutes.
Sometimes, like, I mean, it also depends on the map. It depends on the game mode. It depends on the time of day. If it's a busier time or a more like relaxed time. It depends on the region you're playing, who you're matchmaking against. Like, there's a bunch of factors that go into this. We are aware that a lot of players have reported long matchmaking times, right? Now, I can't say specifically what the solution is, but the team is aware of it. We've brought it to their attention. They know about it. They would like to make it better and fix it. So for now, guys, you'll just have to stay tuned for more info. That's unfortunately that's all we can say right now. But we are working on it. We are looking into it.
That kind of like so we have a question about if there's been any progress with anti-cheat on Steam. So, as you kind of said, was things that we're kind of like working on and continuing to kind of to look into.
Anti-cheat on Steam is another thing that we're still also looking into and tweaking on the like behind the scenes. We're trying to find a way to better detect suspicious behavior, even though we already have like the easy anti-cheat. Is just sometimes people will find a way to bypass it somehow. So we are also tweaking the detection for suspicious activity. And unfortunately, that's all we can say about it right now. We can't share more info, but we are looking into it. And we're making progresses. And there's a lot of players who have reported players with suspicious behavior. They've provided us with a lot of feedback, videos, proof that helps us during our investigation. And we have banned several players who were suspected of cheating and found that like they are indeed having suspicious behavior. So those accounts have been banned, and we are banning players that we find are abusing the game. And also big shout out to everybody who reports players who cheat and give enough evidence to support the accusation. Like that's really helpful for us, guys. We really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. Keep doing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a question: why does this game have so many issues still after so many years?
Well, tell me some games that don't have zero issues ever. It's probably a handful. So every game has its own small issues. Even after a year, after 5, after 10, no game is perfect. There is no such thing as a perfect game. Every game will have its issues. So it's difficult. Nobody's happy about it. Obviously, you never want to have a game that has a lot of issues, but I do believe we as a team have come a long way in the last years to try and improve the experience when playing the game, try to elevate it and bring it into a better state, into a better technical state. So I'm pretty sure some will agree, some will not. You're entitled to whichever opinion you want. There's nothing wrong with it, but I do think every game has its issues. We just need to tackle them and try to fix it, given the time we have, the capacity we have, the priorities we have. It's not easy.
And especially with you got out alive. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
With a game like Vigor that has like almost kind of like layers in the sense like we have like the different seasons. Sometimes like because of that, some things can kind of pop up again in terms of issues as well. So whilst there are things that we have fixed, sometimes they might kind of reappear because we're with the different seasons that we're launching.
It happens.
Yeah, but we always appreciate like the reports that are sent to us, so that we can kind of look into them as quickly as we can. Yeah, which is where the feedback tracker
Yes.
comes in. Someone said, Shootout 12 minutes queuing. We usually recommend, if the wait time is longer than 5 minutes, try to exit the queue and try rejoining. If it's something that keeps happening, you can report it to us. It's information like the time that you're playing and like where you're playing from.
Yeah.
again, with the matchmaking, like information like that is helpful.
Speaking of Shootout, I have a question for you guys in the chat. So if you could answer me, that would be very helpful. Would you like to see in the future Shootout with, like special loadouts, for example? So Shootout only with knives, or Shootout only with crossbows, or Shootout only with pistols and grenades, or Shootout only with sniper rifles or SMGs. Like, would you guys be interested in something like that? Let's see what the chat says.
Yeah, you can let us know in
Yeah.
the chat. I can see a compliment about your tattoos as well.
Where? I don't see it. Where is it?
The fourth one on the screen.
Okay, nice tattoos. Oh, thank you. From Flo Andrew. Thank you, man.
Someone's asking, so what do I do when I shoot people and nothing happens? Just try again.
That means it's a hit registration issue. That means like you might get also a notification about poor internet connection at that point. It means the server is not registering the shots that you're making, right? And that kind of freezes, and there's like this bad communication between server and the client. This is part of the thing that we are looking into and trying to find a way to fix and solve. But as I said before, sometimes it's hidden underneath other things that if you start touching them, you risk of like creating more damage, basically. So it's like open heart surgery. You need to be very, very careful, because like one small tweak or move could cost a lot, basically.
And the Sit Crew is asking, would there ever be a time to show if a map is daytime or nighttime in the future?
That's actually a good idea. I personally don't know, like, technically how doable would that be.
I mean, I know that the conditions are, it's randomized,
Yeah.
so it might be tricky, but yeah. Something that we can ask if it might be possible.
Yeah, we can definitely bring it
some
up for
way.
discussion. Like, that's always the least that we can do. So yeah, we can discuss it.
I know that from being on the socials, I know that some people sometimes say, like, how a particular map, they always get, like, nighttime.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's down to chance, really. But, yeah, something that we can ask
Yeah.
the team. That's a nice comment. About, like, yeah.
Could you read it out?
I'm thinking, like, how to say the... I'm looking at, like, the username. DT
Angry Kobe 420.
Yes, yeah. I actually really like this game. Being tough to find a good extraction shooter, and this is a good game. A few minor issues, but I've been grinding for a few weeks, so fun. Thank you.
Thank you
That's
very
really
much.
nice.
We're glad that you're enjoying the game. Like, honestly, the atmosphere in this game is, to me, one of the biggest selling points for the game. The atmosphere. It's very unique. And I can totally understand how somebody can get sucked into this, and get hooked.
I always enjoy these dev streams where it's just focusing on the chat. It's really nice. Like,
yeah, I mean, to be honest, chat deserves their dev stream as well. Like, we dedicate ourselves to the chat, go through questions, go through the comments, go through the suggestions, go through the feedback. I don't think there's a right and wrong here. Like, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you guys can say whatever you want. You can say it's an amazing game. You can say it's a not so amazing game. I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's all about feedback and us taking it the best way we can and try to make the most out of it. Because this is how I think constructive feedback should work. You say what works, you say what doesn't work, and if you're so kind to provide ways to improve things that don't work, that goes a very long way. Because it's easy to say, this sucks. I don't like this. Yeah, it's very easy to say it, right? It's very easy to write it. But saying, I don't like this feature because of X, Y, and Z, and I think it could be improved if you did A, B, and C, that's, in my opinion, the best way to approach feedback. Any sort of feedback. Constructive feedback. For anything in life, not just the game, but... Oof, we're going deep.
Speaking of feedback, I can see David Von Daha has said I can provide 50 clips of bad hit registration.
Please do so.
Yes.
Like, we've sent links to our feedback tracker, so please feel free to go to the feedback tracker that's dedicated to your console. Leave the clips there. Let us know what your experience was with it, and our team will look into it and try to investigate. Now, I cannot promise how fast we're going to be able to solve it, but we are definitely going to look into it and try to investigate.
And I can see a comment from Twisted J. My only major issue with the game would be how quickly stamina depletes and how long it takes to replenish. This sounds like familiar in the sense of...
Okay, so I understand, but this is part of the stamina rework that we did that also has to do with how much weight you're carrying, right? So it makes sense from a more realistic standpoint that the fuller your backpack is, the slower you will run, and the faster your adrenaline will deplete, right? So I think we can all agree that kind of makes sense, right, from a logical standpoint. We've done some tweaks to the adrenaline, based on the weight distribution system that we improved a couple of seasons back. If you guys feel very, very strongly about this, we'll let the team know about this, and they can investigate for some future tweaks. But I cannot promise anything like a yes or no. The least we can do is at least bring it up for discussion. Because there's always, as I said before, there always needs to be the sort of balance. It doesn't mean because everybody wants something that it should be there or it makes sense, right? It also doesn't mean that it should be broken or be implemented in a way that nobody enjoys it, right? Because, like, if nobody enjoys it, why have it there? So it's all about the balance of finding the tweak, the sweet spot between what we think as a dev team should be the functionality of a feature versus how enjoyable it is to the community and it makes some kind of sense to them.
I do like the follow-up comment, my character should be a top-tier athlete and not lose half my stamina while jumping. Which I suppose, like, in the, if this happened, like, if we didn't live in the apocalypse, like, I would also want to be able to,
I mean, to be fair, like, there's ways to go about it. It just because the option for sprinting is there and we've made tweaks to the adrenaline doesn't mean that everybody should be, like, running around like crazy. Like, people want or some players enjoy a more strategic approach to this. So just lay low, crawl, sprint 20 meters, 50 meters, take a breath, take your time, replenish your stamina, do another sprint, rinse and repeat sort of situation. Just because somebody, like, decides to, like, run a kilometer at full speed with a heavy backpack and their stamina depletes like halfway versus if you were to run without a gun in your hands, without a backpack full, like, it doesn't mean like this is the right way or like the only way to play it or like to use it. There's multiple ways. There's no right or wrong, basically.
There's also a question about will it ever be possible to form a team with Xbox and PS players?
We are looking into that. We would like to have it implemented as soon as possible. So basically cross-platform teaming. But it's more of a tedious process than we anticipated. So our team is working on it behind the scenes. I cannot like really give an ETA of when it would be implemented, but we are looking into it, and we would like to have it, like because it makes sense from the perspective of okay, we've introduced crossplay, right? So the next logical step would be that we introduce cross-platform teaming, right? And that's something that we would like to do. It's just we ran into like some issues that ended up being a little bit more tricky to tackle than anticipated. So yeah, you'll have to wait a little bit for that, but we are working on it.
I can see one of our partners, Tiny Online. Hi, Tiny.
Hi, Tiny.
Said 24 hours map on the weekend may go down well. Yeah, definitely something that
we can definitely suggest it to the team, and we can see. Have we had anybody like say their thoughts on like shootouts with custom loadouts?
I believe so. I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat just to.
Like, I'm kind of interested to see. Also, I'm starting to have a feeling that everybody in this map had an agreement because they saw me spare the previous guy's life before. And they're like, oh, okay, Tony's cool. Let's leave him be. Let's not mess with him.
Let's just let him just.
Let him loot. Let's not mess with him because like I haven't come across anybody, which is surprising and pleasant at the same time. Meanwhile, as I'm talking, like I'm about to get sniped to oblivion.
Someone's
probably
loading their weapon. They're getting ready.
I'm about to be like blown to bits soon.
We have a question. Are there plans for a new map being added to the game?
Yes, we have plans for a new map being added into the game. We cannot go into more detail about it, but we would like to have it out this year. Now, I'm not going to say when, but we would like to have it out this year. And it's going to be a cool map. We're really looking forward for you guys to test it out. But yeah, it should be coming this year.
And I've gotten to the bit in the chat that people were giving feedback about your idea because you were asking about it. I like that idea from Tony. Some say shootouts are good as they are.
It's not true. Okay, shootouts are good as they are. Please don't try to fix something that isn't broken. I get where you're coming from, but it's not about fixing something that isn't broken. It's about building something on top of it or like improving upon it. So yeah, it's not a matter of fixing.
Make it so all masks don't have heavy breathing. I think a lot more people would use them.
If we had this, I would use it all the time. I think it's badass.
I think at one point I remember seeing on Facebook, I think it was a post about why does my character have asthma? Because it was a similar kind of comment.
Okay, why does my character have asthma? Because of radiation, man. Like
it's lore. It's connected to lore.
Yes.
In all seriousness,
it's a feature, not a bug.
In serious though, like we can like things like that we can pass on to the team, like for feedback in terms of like if we get a lot of comments about like the heavy breathing.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
masks. It's something that potentially we could kind of look into for the future.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Same with like emote communication, a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
We're looking into this.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there were a couple of polls happening within the community. Like, if you were able to communicate via emotes, what kind of emotes or what kind of sound cues would you like to have?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw this in the groups, and a lot of people replied. A lot of people gave their ideas. Some of them were funny, actually. Some I can see the use for them. So if we're asking for this kind of input, usually it kind of means something, you know, like hint, hint, you know.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of scrolling through the chat just to what I might do. I might scroll down to the bottom. Yeah. Just because there's a few things that we wanted to cover before the end of the stream as well, but also wanted to make sure that kind of covered more of the questions from the chat. The most recent question, is there a chance of jump shotting or drop shot coming back in the game? We covered this a bit earlier on in the stream, but yeah, not to the same extent, because we made some tweaks to the jump shooting with the weapon overhaul, and we don't necessarily, we don't really have plans to kind of bring that back to the same extent. Question from another one of our partners, the Sit Crew. Would it be possible in the future to give the team that stay in Elimination versus the team that quits a gold crate automatically? Seems like Elimination wastes a lot of crowns when people immediately quit.
Yeah, we can definitely look into it and have a discussion with the rest of the team on how to approach this. I can't say right now yes, no, or something. Obviously, this is like a system that we would have to tweak to detect who quit, who stayed, different variables here and there. But we can definitely like bring it up with the team for discussion, for sure.
I've just seen something that makes me quite happy. I'm not going to give anything away, because we said that we had something to share at during the stream, so at the end we'll be sharing it. But I see. Yeah,
okay. Okay, yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah. Can we have some bots fill up the lobbies? To be honest, that's not something that we plan on doing, because simply of the magnitude of programming AI to react a certain way is a huge undertaking. It's massive. And I'm not over exaggerating. Like, having AI bots reacting a certain way in the Outlands is a massive thing. It would take so much time for our programmers to focus solely on that and nothing else. It would take so much time, and simply we just cannot afford it because there's other things that have bigger priority, unfortunately. It doesn't mean that it's a bad idea or we wouldn't like to have it in a perfect world, but unfortunately the situation is this, that with the capacity that we have and the time and the resources and the people, we just simply cannot afford to let our programmers work solely on this for months and months and months, and leave everything else behind, because there's other features that need their work as well, you know. So yeah, sadly, I don't think that we'll be adding AI bots anytime soon.
The comment from Silly Uncle. But Bohemia, listen, bullets in the real world hurt when they hit people. Fix ping and hit registration as a priority if you are really about real world physics.
Well, I'm not saying like we're all about real world physics, but yeah, we are looking into it. We're doing our best.
Like we know that, there is a hit registration issue. Like the bullets should be hitting. Like it shouldn't. Yeah. So as we kind of mentioned earlier, if you have clips with the network stats switched on,
Yeah.
You can share those with us as well as when you're playing and where you're playing from, and yeah. So that
to be fair, Vigor was never supposed to be a milsim. Yeah, there is a milsim game, and that's Arma. Mm-hmm. So if you guys love military simulations, I definitely recommend to check out Arma.
But at the same time, I think we can agree that the bullets should be hitting. Like
it should be hitting.
Yeah.
That's not a physics problem. Mm-hmm. This is a communication between client and server issue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not technical as in the blueprint or that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. In that sort of technicality.
Mm. This game is very good. The only thing missing is being able to play between
consoles on the same team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like as we said, we would like to add cross-platform teaming soon. Don't know exactly when, but we are looking into it. We're working on it behind the scenes. Just be patient.
Mm-hmm. And I think I saw... yes. So I noticed DJ Spencer, one of our mm-hmm. partners. So thank you for mentioning that. Next week there'll be the map spotlight. So next week it will be Mirren, not Kirsten. Mm-hmm. Just to kind of, I just kind of noticed that. I appreciated the fact that you kind of mentioned it when someone was kind of asking about it. But yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
You mentioned it would be Mirren.
Yes. Towards the end of the month, we're gonna put out a new poll for you guys to vote on the maps you'd like to see featured for June. You'll get to vote through the weekend, and then Monday or Tuesday we'll announce who the winners are, and then Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month, you'll have the first map spotlight mm-hmm. of the month.
Just scrolling. It's taking a little while because the touchpad on the laptop is a little bit small. It's taking me a while. So Tiny has asked any stats on the action figures and how many have been found so far. Ooh. That is a good question.
That is a good question. I don't have any data on that so far, but we can look into it. We can ask our analysts to find out how many action figures have been found so far, and we could share that data on social media if mm-hmm. you guys are interested in something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm thinking I'll probably go on to some of the slides that are kind of covering what's mm-hmm. coming up over the next few weeks or so, and maybe we can kind of quickly dip into a question or two before.
Yeah, definitely. I'll try to do. You know what I'll try to do? I'll try to do a little bit of rapid fire answers.
Ooh.
With the chat, right?
Okay.
So let's do some rapid fire answers. Mm-hmm. Whatever I see, I'll try to. Try to reply.
Maybe do you want to do that whilst I go on to the slides, or maybe do you want to do that first and then we can go on to the slides so you can do a few, and then.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do a few. Oh, I can see it's already going in. Okay. So, when do you plan a new season? In June or July? In June. So next month, a new season is coming out. Not gonna say when exactly, but should be next month. Is crossplay gonna ever reach Steam? I feel like the player base is low on PC from Nifty Nitsy. I do understand where you're coming from. We would like to add crossplay option with Steam as well. First things first, though, we need to optimize Easy Anti-Cheat on Steam, and there's also some technical things that we need to do before we implement crossplay with Steam, with regards to regulations, matchmaking between consoles and PC. There's some stuff that we need to look into, but we would like to add PC to the mix as well. We just need to improve a few things, and then so that's a plan for sure. Tony, the only one to win a shootout? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever won a shootout. I know Herman won a shootout once, and that's been a legendary moment.
People keep talking about Herman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Herman the killer.
Herman the legend. Yeah. Any plan on making it possible to carry more in your backpack? For now, we don't plan to add something like this, but we'll see what the future holds. That could be something to discuss for a future update, for sure. Add a mode like zombies so you don't always have to do PvP. Take your AI for zombies from DayZ if it makes it easier and start with one map. Again, we go back to the situation of adding AI and programming AI to do and behave certain way given different inputs. That's a huge, huge, huge undertaking. When Vigor Mobile? Not anytime soon, for sure. Wait, I'll ask again. Hopefully you see it now. How about a fill option for encounters so we can play with random teammates? If you mean random duos to come back or random trios, we'll have a chat about it. We'll discuss it. Yeah, I cannot promise you right now yes or no. We'll bring it up for discussion and we'll see.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking maybe with the time we have left, maybe we could go on to the last few things and then share the sneak peek of something that we were talking about earlier and on our socials when we were saying this stream was going to happen. But thank you everyone for your questions.
Thank you very much.
They were really good questions.
For being with us. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions, your feedback, all of it. We appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed as well. You had a good time with us.
We do have some more things in case people are... I was just which is one of the things that I wanted to...
It's something that we took from development, like just like a little clip, a little taste of things to come.
Yes, yeah. But before we go to that, before we sign off, so we wanted to kind of showcase that one of our partners, the Sick Crew, is having an elimination tournament on... It's this Saturday, I believe. So you may have seen like the previous tournaments that were organised with him and Lord Batfish. So there's another one happening. And I've just seen that Dom has shared in the chat as well how to sign up for that.
Yay!
So there'll be battle pass codes, crowns and other prizes kind of up for grabs. So be sure to check it out and also catch the stream as well when it will be happening. And speaking of things that our lovely partners have been organising, so two of our partners, Orchid Sparks and To the Nines, organised a action figure hunt to see who could find them.
Shout out to Orchid Spark and To the Nines for putting this tournament hunt together for the community. That's a very nice gesture.
And also, there was a winner as well, Push Mischief. So, well done.
Yes.
That must have been really fun to try and like hunt them all down. I love that. And it's really good to see like the whole collection as well, like in the shelter.
It's nice, and it's going to grow bigger.
So yeah, I think that is everything that we wanted to cover. So we'll be saying our goodbyes, and then we'll be leaving you with the sneak peek before the
Yes.
stream ends. But thank you again to everyone who came along.
Thank you, guys.
I've enjoyed this stream.
It was
Yeah.
very fun. It was
Yeah.
very lovely. I think I know like we didn't manage to answer every single comment. I do hope that the ones that we answered or we tried to give an explanation that it kind of makes sense to you guys, or like you understand where we're coming from. And yeah, I would like to hold more of these like Q&A dev streams where we can, you know, interact with the with chat and just like have a conversation.
And good playing as well. Nice.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody who was in the games. If you're in chat, thank you for like not shooting me. Yeah.
Did you have fun?
I had fun.
Good.
Yes.
Good. Okay. So, yes, thank you again, everyone. And as we promised,
yeah, check this out. It's...
Yes. Yeah. And yeah, let us know as well what you think on our socials afterwards. But yeah, thank you very much again, and we'll see you in the Outlands.
See you in the Outlands.
Bye.
Bye.